Hello, my name is Linnéa, and I will have a presentation of this exhibition, which is called Fan Club, and it's at Gallery Kamarade. The first picture that I'm going to talk about is this of Håkan Hellström, who is over here as well, is a very famous pop artist in Sweden, and I really like it because I think that he looks very natural, like he is being himself, and he's very comfortable with who he is. The next picture or photo that I'm going to talk about is this, and it's a photo of a drummer in a Danish band called the Communions, and I really like it too. I like all of them almost. This one I like because he's young. Yeah, I like that he looks angry. That he maybe not angry, but that he looks serious, because I really don't like photos with people smiling. I think when you see photos of pop stars, often they look like they're pretending to be pop stars, but I think he's not doing that on this picture. He is, like being himself. So, and that's why I really like it. And this picture, I got the wrong papers. This is an essay I wrote at school, because there was this writer visiting our school, and he was going to inspire us to write an essay, and he told us about his youth and his childhood and so, and then he asked us to close our eyes and to think about who we wanted to be for 5 minutes, and then when we opened our eyes, he told us that now you're going to write an essay that is called "Who Do You Want to Be?" So I wrote an essay, but it became all weird, and so I never handed it in. But I like this one too. The next pictures are these two, because I think they belong together. This one of Astrid Lindgren, who is a very famous writer in Sweden. And she wrote lots of books, like Karlsson on the Roof, for instance, and then it's Lena Kronqvist, who is an artist, and I think they are really nice because they look very comfortable and natural, and also I really like photos of old women. I think they can be very beautiful, and especially when it's black and white photos, and they look a bit like they don't care who they are, or maybe not who they are, but they don't think too much about who they are. They just sort of are. Actually, Lena Kronqvist, it's kind of weird, but she reminds me of a person that is in a fantasy that I have, which is about becoming someone else. I'm in the kitchen at home in our house, and I don't know, I'm just standing there having some bread or something, and all of a sudden there's this person standing next to me, and I immediately understand that she comes to tell me that I'm going to become someone else. She has this grey hair, almost silver colored hair in a page, almost like Lena Kronqvist, but she's a bit younger, and I'm thinking maybe she's childless, and she smells really good, and she has this white coat. She takes my hand and we go to my room, and there's like lots of dirty laundry on the floor, and it's all dark, and because the curtain is down, and the air is really bad, and things all over, like, but she doesn't bother. She just tells me to sit down, or she shows me to sit down with her arm or just her hand, and I sit down, and she puts her hand on my forehead and like closes my eyes, and then she just leaves, and I sort of realize that I have to do the rest myself and figure out who I want to become. And this picture is, I wrote a lot of things about it, but I don't have it here now. But it's J.D. Samson, who was in a band called The Tigre. And I think she looks very cool. I think she's really brave, because she don't seem to care about what she looks like in a way. Or, I mean, I think she's really beautiful, but she's not trying to look good, and she looks a bit angry in a way. Now we'll talk about this photo, which is a girl sitting in a bowl, and I really like it. I think maybe it's my favorite photo, because she looks very comfortable and laid back, and also I forgot to say when I started that I think all photos are about identity and about who you are. For some reason I started thinking of this old man from a film that I've seen, but I don't remember the name of it or what it was about, but he was quite fat, and he was like a supporting role, and he was some sort of publisher, and he was supposed to be funny, I guess, and I would like to be him, or like him in this imagination, because he was quite weird, but he was weird in a good way, like maybe like a funny neighbor or something, someone that you understand in 2 seconds, like okay, I'm like this, not so very good looking and not so interesting, but this is me. Sorry. And when people would meet him, they would go like, okay, we get it, and we like you. Not so much because of who you are, but because you seem to be someone who's standing up for who you are. And there was this close-up of him, and he was calling a guy that he was in love with, who wasn't in love with him, and he listened to the other guy's message on the cell phone, and then he just sat there with a phone in his hand and was just in like worn out underpants and a tank top, and he was breathing quite heavily through his nose. And sometimes when I feel bad and have this agony, I try to breathe like that. I'd like to be unhappy the way he was unhappy. Or maybe I just wanted to be him because he wasn't in the film all the time. That seems kind of nice in a way, just being present a little bit, not all the time. Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? I want to be someone who didn't just get the question, who do you want to be? I want to be someone who didn't just get the question, who do you want to be? By a middle-aged man in colorful sneakers who questions himself, who does he want to be? I want to be not me. I want to be someone who's not sitting closing her eyes, trying not to focus on her pain in her stomach, surrounded by a bunch of idiots who actually think this is so inspiring and interesting. And did you hear about how he suffered from his bad self-esteem in his youth? And he was so honest and brave, and he was so intense when he shared his dreams of becoming someone else. And he was going on and on about the importance of living inside his fantasies. And that's easy for you to say, you pink, thin, fucking pig who sits in front of your old shabby chic Brooklyn brown vintage desk, contemplating all day, not having to deal with 450 idiots every day, not having to walk to the bus in brown, wet, filthy snow up your knees, talking to people who you hate and who hate you, which should make you connect but just makes it worse, you hilariously ironic adolescent creep. I want to be someone who's not having to not have anyone to drink another Luke expensive cappuccino with, and here I am at 7-Eleven and it's midnight, and please don't look at me because then it will all fall apart and you would probably hate me. Weren't I a vulnerable, insecure teenage girl? Because who would hate a teenage girl who wants to be someone else? And why do people get so upset when you say you want to be someone else? My mother says, you should be yourself, you are beautiful and wonderful and blah blah blah, and we love you the way you are. Well, I don't, so please stop saying that. If you want to respect me, please don't tell me that I'm wonderful, because I'm not. No one is. Why do we have to pretend that people are wonderful? Why is it so intimidating to accept that people are horrible, even the ones you love? My mother tells me I'm mean, even though she's the one who's mean, and still we're all enlightened Democrats, and last weekend the whole family went to this manifestation against racism, and why am I wrong? Why do I want to be somewhere else when for once I'm doing something good? I really shouldn't be here. I really shouldn't be saying this. Somebody else ought to be here. Someone real, someone not faking like I do. You should see me without makeup. I listen to Allen Ginsberg over and over again, even though my teacher tells me I'm too young to know about him, and I don't understand why the audience is laughing, but I laugh as well, alone on the bus, surrounded by night, no lights. Why do I listen to him? How I too want to be ugly and loved and beardy and American and genius and dead and get my sad, sad story told by some emotionally disturbed director with expensive glasses and funny-looking nose. How I love him. How I hate him. How I hate my hometown. How I hate the books about people hating their hometown. How I hate the songs about people hating their hometown. How I hate the podcasting comedians hating their hometown. How I hate knowing that as I write these words, I instantly start dreaming of being discovered, celebrated, a newborn internet star, finally loved thanks to my self-hatred, so pathetic one cannot even imagine the proportions. Here I am trying so hard to convince you that I am someone else. This is not me. This is not me. My stupid thoughts, my pink fingers, this is not me. My tiny mouth, my sad clothes, this is not me. My imaginary mind, my thin legs, this is not my body. This is not me.